Hey, it's Peter here with my FSHD. Right, so today I'd like to introduce you to some friends of mine, some teens with FSHD from all over the world, who want to talk to you directly about an initiative they've started called Cure FSHD for All. And you can check out this website here, curefshdforall.com. And you'll see that there's going to be a petition that we're going to go over and check out, and we're going to ask you to sign to show your support for getting teens and preteens into FSHD clinical trials. We're going to encourage the biotech and pharma companies designing the trials to consider, additional arms where they could include some individuals that have restricted mobility in their upper body and they don't have the ability maybe to get up and walk and do some of the metrics that are being done are being assessed in the current clinical trials, right? You could maybe expand access to the clinical trials and potentially, think about expanding access to the therapeutics through the compassionate use program through the FDA. And then really important, we want to make sure that once therapeutics are approved for use, that the label for the use covers, teens and preteens with FSHD. We don't want to fall into a trap of saying, well, sure, these drugs are approved, or therapeutics are approved because they've shown efficacy and safety in the adult population, but now we have to go back and check them out and gather some data in the teen and preteen populations. We want to make sure that everybody has access to the therapeutics during development and once they're approved, right? And so I'm going to introduce you to a really great group of teens. We're going to have Eva's going to be joining us from Croatia, Pano from Australia, and then across the U.S. we have Kate and Maggie and Sam and Benji and Kana, and they're going to tell us a little about themselves. So let's meet the teens. We have some really special folks with us today. We're going to have some of the young adults with FSHD that they have a cause and they need to get the word out. And we're going to do what we can to help get the word out so that we can help them, help themselves, and help kids all around the world. So thank you all for joining us on this. I know it's maybe a little bit unusual experience, but we're going to start with some introductions. If you can just tell me, a little bit about yourselves. Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I am 20 years old. I was diagnosed with FSHD when I was 6 years old. And over time, I had three surgeries, and I became a full-time wheelchair user when I was about 13 years old. Right now, I'm going to college and just trying to find a job and stuff like that.
All right, Benji.
I'm Benji. I live in Kansas City. I was unofficially diagnosed about like 3 years ago. I'm wheelchair bound right now.
All right, Kate.
I'm Kate. I'm 14. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I was diagnosed with FSHD when I was 6, and I became non-ambulatory when I was 9. So yeah.
All right, Eva.
Hi, my name is Eva. I am from Croatia. I got diagnosed when I was 10. I'm now 13 years old.
All right, Maggie.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I am 16 years old. I will be a junior in high school this coming year, and I was diagnosed with FSHD in the beginning of 2023.
All right, Pano.
Hi, I'm Pano. I live in Melbourne, Victoria, which is in Australia, of course. I'm 14 years old and I've been diagnosed with FSHD for a year now.
All right, and Kana.
Hi, I'm Kana, and I live in Indiana. I was diagnosed with FSHD 4 years ago, and I will be a junior.
All right, so we see right away that there's a range of ages, range of diagnostics, range of some severity, and again, I heard some interesting things about your diagnostic journeys. Maybe it took a while to get a diagnosis. That's something we can talk about in the future. But first of all, my understanding, and we think we know this in the field, is that therapies for FSHD are coming. I do a lot of diagnostics for people all around the world. It's interesting. I do Croatia and, of course, Australia, a number of people all around the world, and we see that FSHD is everywhere. But therapies are also coming, and I always make a point and say, well, one of the reasons I want to do diagnostics all around the world is because when therapies come, everybody should have access to them. People need to know what's going on. But you got to remember that even once therapies come, there's one group that is not getting access to therapies, right? And that is those under 18, the young adults. Y'all, sorry, I have a little Southern accent, but are the ones that are not having access to therapy. And so that's why we're here today, is to see, y'all have, one thing I preach with my podcast is you have to kind of take charge yourself to get things done, right? To do something, you can't just sit around and wait for everybody else to do it for you. And you have taken this initiative to get things going and get the word out that you want therapies too. It can be the same therapies, different therapies. So why don't y'all tell me about this initiative that y'all are starting? It's just
One of the main initiatives that we're kind of starting is advocating for inclusion and extended access and getting kids into clinical trials. And I'm sure more people here can explain extended access better than I can. Some have experience with it, some have some similarities. But we're mainly advocating to get the awareness of the fact that there are very large groups of people being left out, and we don't have a lot of time just there in terms just to wait until you turn 18, because there are a lot of drawbacks that come with waiting that long, especially with early onset.
So you guys have a website that has come up, and I'm going to actually share my screen and go to this because I want to look at the website that you guys put together. Okay, so for people listening or people watching, go to your computer and you want to go to www.curefshdforall.com. It's .com. Okay. And you'll come up with this website. You'll see some of y'all here. And so it states your mission, right? It says it's dedicated to advocating for access to treatments for all individuals with FSHD, inclusion in clinical trials, access to compassionate use, and eventual insurance coverage for prescribed treatments. Raising awareness is the mission. Encourage pharmaceutical companies to expand inclusion criteria, provide expanded access programs, and to pursue broad label approval for therapies, ensuring everyone has the opportunity to contribute to finding a cure and have access to approved therapies with insurance reimbursement. All right, so this is one way to get the word out. So we're going to, of course, put this out to everybody we know. I have a pretty good contact. I have a little bit different. I have an international contact list. We're going to put this out to everybody. But I understand there's a petition or something. Sign the petition. So you want to go up here to the right. All right, so here is the petition. Access to therapies for all FSHD affected individuals. The issue: imagine there is a treatment for you or your family member's muscle wasting disease, but you can't get access to it. Right now, children, older adults, and non-ambulatory individuals of all ages with facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy, or FSHD, are being left out of interventional trials, despite the surge of promising therapies in development. These exclusions deny the most vulnerable in our community the chance of treatment and a better future. FSHD is a progressive genetic disorder that causes muscle wasting, leading to profound physical limitations and, in some cases, life-threatening respiratory and heart conditions. There are promising treatments in development, and yet over 50% of FSHD patients are being shut out from access due to restrictive inclusion criteria to clinical trials. This is not just a bureaucratic oversight. It is a failure of compassion, and it is leaving thousands of individuals with FSHD behind unnecessarily. Those who do not fit within the narrow patient profile used in trials are left with limited to no access to treatments due to FDA labeling and or insurance coverage for these treatments. This is simply due to the lack of data available to approve treatments for everyone. It's critical to design trials that are inclusive and equitable for the entire FSHD community. We urge regulators and drug developers to implement innovative trial designs such as open label arms, adaptive designs, expanded inclusion criteria, establish expanded access programs for those most severely affected who don't qualify for trials, ensure the FDA grants broader labels for FSHD therapies, ensuring the treatments are available to all patients, not just a select minority, while additional data is gathered with confirmatory trials. By allowing broader access, we can gather real-world data on safety, efficacy, and proper dosing, ensuring insurance coverage and better treatment decisions for the entire FSHD community. No one should be left behind. Empower yourself, friends, and family members living with FSHD. Other neuromuscular communities fought these battles and won. Now it's our turn. Please sign this petition showing your support for this initiative, demanding that every FSHD patient, regardless of age or mobility, has the right to access life-changing treatments. Together, we can make sure no one is excluded from a future free of FSHD. Wow, 961 signatures. And so we're going to give you 962. And whoops, BLJNES 143. Now everyone's going to know my Gmail address. And I don't know why it always says I'm in San Jose. I'm not. Carson City, country, state, Nevada. And it's not going to pull. Oh, come on. There we go. We go LM, we go Nevada. And 703. And sign the petition. And chip in $3 to get this on the agenda. I'm not sure I understand. So what, do you guys know what this is about?
So I would avoid that. That money is going to change, not the. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't directly benefit us.
Okay, it doesn't directly.
Not that I know of.
I would say $3 is kind of an unusual number, so I'll share it instead. Okay, what's the link? Copy link, and I'll put the link somewhere else and deal with it. Oh, so here's a number of people. It actually looks like a number of people have shared it all throughout. So you guys are getting all around the world. Actually, I recognize a number of these names because a lot of them have taken our testing. So fantastic. So, okay, we're going to come up here, help reach more, write a comment, record a video message. I'm going to put it on the My FSHD. Whoa, that's a very different. So now all of a sudden you get a whole bunch of extra stuff. Okay. We're going to look at that a little bit later. I'm going to stop my screen sharing and I'm going to put this up and post it on the My FSHD site and share it and encourage everybody. And we'll get you up over 1,000 in no time. I think we have a lot of volunteers that will volunteer immediately for something that will have to show benefit. All right, so well, I want to thank you all for joining us. I'm going to give you all each just a chance to say bye, say one last words on the way out. Anything, just anything, Pano?
Yeah, I'll just really like to thank you, Peter Jones, for testing me and my family for FSHD and finding my diagnosis in the quickest manner. I appreciate this a lot because this helped me understand what is happening to my body quicker and help me plan earlier. So anyone else who is worried about possibly having FSHD, to definitely go for your testing.
All right. Well, we're happy to help out. Glad we could help out, and yeah, I'm glad we were able to do it pretty fast. So, Benji.
Yeah. Peter, I just wanted to thank you and thank you for advocating for us and all that you do.
Again, always happy to help out, you guys. I'm thanking you guys. All right, Maggie.
And thank you for inviting us to come on the podcast. So thank you for that.
Oh, we're happy, glad. Thank you for taking your time, Kana.
Like the others said, thanks for all you're doing.
You guys are, my people. Oh, by the way, I want to thank you all for sending the Christmas card every year. I don't always send a thank you, but I love the Christmas card I get from you all. Eva, do you have any parting words?
Yeah, thank you very much for everything. I also want to say that even though this is very hard for us, it teaches us consistency and hard work.
That's true. I gotta say that everything else in life may seem easier compared to this when you kind of move on as you get going to the next thing. You've already been run through the ringer. So yeah, that's absolutely. Kate?
This is gonna get very repetitive, but thank you. This is so fun to be a part of and to spread awareness about us and our situation we got here.
Now I feel guilty. I didn't mean to have this be one thing. I'm just saying, well, I'll just take the thanks from the whole research community. Let me tell you, because I'm just the little face that's out here. Sam.
Yes, I also want to say thank you for having us. I think this was a good opportunity for us to finally, share our thoughts. It gives us a good medium to finally, get this out to people so they can understand.
All right. Well, I really appreciate y'all doing it. And from the researchers, I got to tell you, we don't get out of lab much. I'm very fortunate to get to meet you all. Researchers are just like you, and they're trying their best. It's really hard, and people really, really don't think for 1 second that you're not on everybody's mind. The researchers, it's tough, but really there's progress being made, but it is always good to put a face to what we're doing and to say, this is why we get up every morning. This is why we're going into the lab. This is why we're doing things to help you all, help the FSH community. Help is on the way, okay? And we'll get back in touch. I'll be back in touch with y'all. If you ever have any questions, you can always kind of give me a contact. I'm happy to answer science questions or what's going on. And maybe we'll meet up again in a few months and see if I've made any progress on my motivational approaches to all my industry contacts that I have. I want to be able to give you all good news, right? All right, well, we'll say, boy, God, Eva, it's 3 a.m. or something over there. I hope you, thank you for getting up for us. Pana, hope you all have a good day. Thanks, everybody, all across. Thank you, parents, for setting it up, and really appreciate you all joining us. Okay? See y'all.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, so there you have it in a nutshell. Briefly, now we're going to have a longer podcast with we have a more in-depth discussion with our teens, and so check that out. But for now, go to www.curefshd for all, and let's sign the petition and show our support. And make sure that our teens with FSHD know that we're thinking about them. Right, they're not going to be left behind. And we're not forgetting about them. All right. Catch you all later. Yager, take us on home.
Thank you for listening to the MyFSHD podcast, where we share with you the latest news and information on FSHD as we strive for a cure. Do you have a question for Peter? He'd love to hear from you. You can reach him at peterjones@med.unr.edu. Thank you for listening, and join us again next time for more news and information.